Hey everybody, your cat here, and we're gonna go back for round 2 in Vintage Cube. Who knows, we might go for a third or fourth round, but I was so stoked by our last 2-1. I think a trophy is possible. I keep getting better every day, so we're gonna be doing another round of Vintage Cube while it's here. Once again, I want to thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy the content here. That'd be very appreciated amongst all the other socials here. But before we spend too much time talking here, we'll get right into the Vintage Cube. One last thing, there is a Ravnica mixer draft coming up on Arena. You should be looking out for that on the channel relatively soon. I loved it the last time it came through. I love that whole block, and we'll be having a lot of fun with Limited here, it looks like. Well, without anything else to say, let's get started on this Vintage Cube round 2. Okay, so it looks like we're here on pack 1, pick 1, and I mean, I see the Lotus. The Lotus is probably going to be too hard not to take, but let's just take a look and see what else we've got here. Brazen Borrower, pretty amazing in here because it's non-land permanent. Gitaxian Probe, if I was to storm off, is probably amazing. Batterskull can be quite powerful. Fastbond can be quite powerful. I think that's what I'm looking at the most here. There's good interaction, swords. Grave is great for reanimation, but I think we just have to take the Black Lotus here. Maybe that's just me. I don't trophy, so maybe I'm wrong here, but I think we do have to take the Lotus and just see what else we can move into. So let's grab and move from there. So pack 2. Let's see. I see a Storm card here, Mind's Desire. I see Snapcaster, which could be quite powerful. Gonti, which could also be powerful. Oko. I don't know why I didn't speak of that first. Oko is just... Oko is Oko. I think it's quite powerful from what I've seen. We did play a Simic deck last recording here. But this would be quite different than the deck we played last time. We were playing basically mono green with a blue splash. Let's take Oko and see what happens. Okay, so Skyclave here, great. Nissa, absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Time Warp, depending on what we could get, could be a very great card. Sword of Temptation is not too bad, along with Ripwing and Collective Brutality. This is overall an okay pack. I think we've got a green-blue here that doesn't necessarily lock us in anything. I think I'll take Time Warp. This is probably not like the best pick in that pack, but just based off of an idea of what we could grab in the future. If we're doing the Time Warp thing, Cryptic might be worth talking about here. I've yet to see if this can work out, but Memory Jar, I know there's some deck in here. There must be some deck in Vintage Cube where this is just nuts, the nuts. But I'm looking at Cryptic Command here. I'm looking at Dark Petition, because I look at anything that can turn any tutor, and especially one that can turn into extra mana. But Sylvan Library is just great here. I think I'll grab Sylvan. We might have wanted the Cryptic there, but I'm going to take Sylvan. Let's see. What else are we going to do here? We have Monastery Mentor, depending on what we do. Yawgmoth's Will let us storm. And I'm kind of... This is not storm what we're looking at here, but I kind of want to put this in the pocket just because I love forcing storm too much. This is why I don't trophy. But let's see. Reasonably, we could look at the Mentor here, I think. Chart a Course, Oath of Druids, maybe. I don't think we're near that yet, but it would be a setup piece to start working towards. Shark Typhoon, maybe. But I think I'm going to grab the Yawgmoth's Will and just see what happens. Okay, so Leovold is technically in the triple colors we've grabbed and is just amazing. Absolutely amazing card. Arbor Elf, we could ramp on Untapped Forest, although at this point we'll want to start grabbing some duels then that say Forest on them, so we can untap those. I think it would have to be between the Arbor Elf and Leovold. And I think the Leovold might be a better pick right now. Lotus would have been good there too, I think. Um, there's a storm card. I think if we want to force storm, here we go. Let's see here what else we're looking at. This is definitely strange because we should be picking up red for storm. And we don't quite see that. I don't know if I want to take the stomping grounds just as a hedge that we might want to get some of those rituals if and when they are possible. I think we will. I think we will take this as a hedge and just get rid of it if not necessary. And the Cataxium Probe came back around. I think that's amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing here. Mind's Desire will just get all the payoffs for this. We will get all the payoffs. Technically, Thousand Year Storm works there. I don't think I want it though. I think I want. Now there could be some crazy plays. Mind's Desire hit the Thousand Year Storm, and the Sower doesn't necessarily. I'm gonna put it. Screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We'll see what happens. We'll take a Signet because it's a Signet. We will put Rite of Harmony, I guess, because it could draw cards in the sideboard. Parallax Wave in the sideboard, Loyal Warhound in the sideboard. Not too great at the end there. I don't know what's happening here, but this is part of the fun of Vintage Cube. We'll see where we can take this. Maybe off the power of Black Lotus alone, I'll be able to do something crazy. Maybe I won't. Okay, so pack 2, pick 1. I see Mystical Tutor, which is key here when we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe more cards. We'd love to tutor up with it. That's what's sticking out in my mind first. Besides that, like a Duress to sideboard in would be pretty great. Suspicious Stowaway, I have not yet figured out if is strong enough. Certain cards might be coming out, like Oko. We might take out the green, period. I think the tutor definitely works for what we're wanting to do here. Woohoo! So, looking at pack 2, pick 2. A Pyromancer, if we wanted to start looking at red, would go pretty great with how many spells we have so far and casting them all for a ton of value. Miscalc could be almost like absolutely necessary because certain cards get countered, we're screwed. Also, they do certain plays, we're screwed. And the cycling, I think it might be worth. For now, I'm going to keep that in mind. We're not looking at any dual lands here that are good for us. The blue duels are going to be the hardest to fight for, and therefore we're probably going to be the most screwed because of it. I think it would be between this and the Young Pyromancer, and we've yet to bet on red, so I'll just put this to the deck. Miscalc it is. Ooh, Maul Drifter. Okay, we got Seething Song. This is our first. This is our first when it comes to mana acceleration. And we probably need to just go ahead and start working on grabbing some of those. So we will move to the deck. And we are looking for fixing here. We are looking for fixing because so far we are in a bad position for fixing. Baral just works great for what we're thinking about here with tons of instants and sorceries. Dig Through Time could work, though we really want to Yawgmoth's Will, and so we wouldn't want to delve too many things. I think we will take Baral from here. I'm not sure what else we could do. We can kind of Koth, but when we don't have too many duels yet, I'm not sure how great that will be. So I think we will Baral first. That's the clear choice for forcing Storm here, which we are stuck now doing. Because I have no choice. I do think there is like this problem of me thinking my graveyard is too sacred in these decks because you want to Yawgmoth's Will, you want to use those cards, and wherein a Lavamancer might be good here for like some incidental, like we can do this maybe with like the Lotus in the yard or something else, you know. the Cataxian Probe. That might not be worth too much playing back again. And I don't see too much else in this pack. Maybe Phantasmal Image, if they have something great, we could bring it in. But I think the Lavamancer will just, like, main deck work more. Okay. So I see Bone Shards, which would be too bad for removal. Ignoble Hierarch does a little bit of fixing red and green, but we're not so sure we're going to be playing green anymore. I've left them in here. We have Imperial Seal to keep searching. I think having 2 of them would be pretty great to get exactly what we want. Yeah, I think that might be worth it here. We're still looking for fixing if we can find it, of course. I will turn down Past and Flames. There we go. We now have both the cards we want for having our graveyard available to us. I think that means black-red. We'll take this. Although Tendrils is better than certain of our other Storm cards. But this fixing, we're gonna die from fixing. I think we hope we have to turn down the Tendrils. We already have multiple ways to Storm off. And then I don't see us doing this for free too many times, although it is possible. I think I'd rather take the Signet. We'll get another piece of fixing. Shrine, I guess, could work in certain matchups. Inferno Titan is a big piece. We don't yet have... Maybe we'll get a fetch land, and Crucible would be worth it. I don't think we will, but maybe. Tangle Wire, because I guess it can be played. So not so sure about these green pieces anymore. So I'm going to put them all here. If we do rock one, it will probably be Leovold. But I'm not too sure about them anymore. In fact, I'll go ahead and just take him to the sideboard for now. Along with her Stomping Ground. We could technically play the Smoldering Egg. And the Student of Warfare I'll also put into the sideboard. Let's see what else we could do. So for pack 3, I see the Izzet Signet. That's looking pretty good here. Faithless Looting for digging, although I don't think will be too necessary with 2 tutors. Although it will be great to have. I think the Izzet Signet, just for fixing reasons, might be really great. We also should just look at Portent is not terrible, I think. That's an idea. It's new to the cube, I'm pretty sure, in this time around. I think it's really between Faithless Looting and the Signet, and I think we'd rather have a Signet in our colors. And I think I'll take out the Boros Signet for now. I think more than 2 is not necessary. A Volcanic Island, that's looking pretty great there for fixing. We could keep the Boros Signet, keep Fractured Identity in the sideboard for removal. Thieving Skydiver, Treasure Cruise, also looking pretty good here to me. And Runaway Steam Cam, honestly, they're all looking pretty good. We are definitely light on red. We're definitely like blue main, black, and red second. So I think another piece of fixing is just necessary here, especially since Volcanic Island's probably like the most likely land to never come back to you. At least as far as I understand. Now, the Creeping Tar Pit. I was absolutely destroyed by this land in our last round here, so that might be not that bad of an idea to pull that in. We could also Bolas's Citadel. I know that helps a lot. Ragavan is just amazing and lets you ramp up and kind of gives you like a second way to win in these decks. Although, really, if we think about it, we're not winning by damage. We're brain freezing people. We need to remember that. So, if we win by damage, it's going to be by something completely different. We can Flame Spill in the sideboard. Preordain just kind of fixes stuff for us. Creeping Tar Pit is... I think this might be... We don't win by damage, though. I'm going to take the Preordain. No, reserve the Preordain. Did I? Ah, I can't believe I just let Moto screw me over. Oh well, we're not going to worry about it too much. Ponder. We don't have any way to successfully, like, well, Ponder lets you reshuffle. That is quite sad about this, that bit right there. We could also use Counterspell to protect, another protection for what's going on here. I think we'll take the Ponder because we were supposed to take Preordain less and we messed that up. Um, we will have some islands. High Tide might be worth it. And we'll get to replay it from the graveyard too. And if we could High Tide off the Signet, something along that ends, it seems to me like the best bet right here. Yeah, I think I'd take High Tide. We didn't take the counter spell, so a mana leak might not be too bad here. Expressive to dig, gush to draw. I think I'd rather have the expressive than the gush, though. But I think another form of counter in this deck would not be too bad to have a second one. Time Spiral? Time Spiral might be good to give us a little more crazy draw in here, a little more crazy action. Dragon Rage could also just generally make the deck more efficient at dropping stuff into the graveyard. Shuffles their hand and their graveyard in the library, I think might be bad for us here. Depending on what we draw, we may or may not be able to move forward. So yeah, I think I would rather take the Dragon Rage Channeler. Just give us like a little bit of redundancy for the second option. I have been so bitterly disappointed with Expansion Explosion, but perhaps I'm playing it wrong here. I do think that's like our only pick. Cabal Ritual, though. We only have one ritual. I apologize. I didn't see that first. I think I'd rather take this to the deck. And then we're back around. I guess we technically can have this for Artifact Hate and like toss in the correct signet now. We will not be doing this one. We will do the Boros signet. I think 2 signets is fine here. Runaway Steamkin. Flame Spell in the sideboard. I don't think we want to Bolas's. We could Valky as like another win, which I did on a previous one. But do we want more interaction or do we want more ways to win? I guess this interacts too with the decks. Okay, we won't be running all of that there. The Hellkite goes here. The Gush, I think we'd be more likely to play, but it goes into the sideboard. And boom, there we go. Don't think I'll have to make too many cuts here, so I'm going to take a look at this, do a little bit of magic, and when we come back, I will be showing you what the deck looks like. So give me just one moment. Okay, everybody, I've done the magic. I've done a little bit of the work here, and I've come up with this as the deck here. A couple of key things to go over. I considered a Black Lotus plus 2 Boros plus 2 Signets plus our low curve as excuse to go down to 16 instead of 17 lands. Maybe even 15, but I wasn't too sure about that and what else we would just put in the deck to replace that land. We kind of have the goal of ramping off, going crazy, and storming as is normal. I've tossed in 1,000-Year Storm, Mind's Desire, and Brain Freeze is like the ultimate way. Okay, we're going to try to Brain Freeze them. That's what we're going to do. We have... So that's a storm there. 1,000-Year Storm being cheeky, letting us basically storm everything. Yawgmoth's Will, Past in Flames, and then a few of our like discount effects like Goblin Electromancer, Brawl, plus our different rituals are essentially what's going to let us storm off, plus a Time Warp. I consider that as part of the assistance there. This is the mana ramp package right here with the Lotus and the 2 signets, plus the rituals are there as well, really. And then we kind of have a beatdown. We can switch to / helps us in Valky, Runaway Steamkin, Grim Lavamancer, Dragon Rage, technically Electromancer, and Baral count in that. Oh, I just put that back in the sideboard. Let me grab that real quick. Technically, those count in the beatdown as well. and then we just have some 1 mana, like, let's make this more efficient, let's do this. But I'm so far thinking that, as normal, I forced Storm, but this is one of the better looking ones that I have forced and made happen. We got both Yawgmoth's Will and Passive Flames, which I think is really key to this. And Thousand Year Storm, I guess it's time to figure out if I was wrong about not picking it up in all my previous forcings of Storm. But we're gonna go take it to game 1 and see what happens from there. Okay, everybody, this is your cat here from match 1 of this vintage cube, and we're looking at our first hand here. We've won the die roll, so we go first, and I kind of think this is acceptable. Seeing the Thousand Year Storm in hand has me a little bit concerned. We're also low on action, but we're low on land, so hopefully we will draw less of them. I think instead of turn 1 Ponder, what we want to do is turn 1 Dragon Rage so that we can surveil before we ponder. And so I think we will keep here. And hope that getting the DRC out turn 1 and then passing is good enough. And let's see what our opponent is playing here. Okay, Library of Alexandria. Okay. So probably fine that this hand goes slow. Sad to see a land here, but that's okay. Go ahead and ponder now. We'll always yield. Let's see about surveilling. Mana League, I think I want to keep this in hand. Depending on what the top 3 looks like. I need to play DRC the right way. Put that into the graveyard. And then let's resolve our spell. We're trying to dig. That was why we did that. We will gladly take the Imperial Seal. No need for the Brain Freeze currently. So put on top, put on top, put on top. No, draw the card. And then we get to Imperial Seal. And we should definitely do that now because we don't have much choice. Do we want to reveal that and put that into the graveyard? It's kind of dangerous to leave that there. No, that's our 1 winning piece. We're going to leave that on top of the library while we do this. So it stays in the library, which I think is a safer place to be. And then we will seal away. So let's see. We can blue, red, black, play the Thousand Year Storm with a Black Lotus. But is that much when we're then empty-handed? I don't think so. We'll probably want for a card to be on top. You could get Valky begin the beatdown, which would be kind of funny. Past in Flames, I guess, gives us another round of Ponder, which is kind of a dumb way to do that, though. I'm gonna take a second to think about this. I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, so back here now, and I've decided to go ahead and just put the... Black Lotus on. Worst comes to worst, we can just Thousand Year Storm, get it out onto the battlefield, and I think that'll be a good place to start. Not too fast, but had to make a decision there. Wasn't sure what would be the best to tutor for. We have a second tutor. We have more ways to go. I think this will be fine. Plus, I have a feeling they will be playing a little slow. I am now almost guaranteed proven wrong by the mana vault there, but we'll see. I imagine they want to keep 7 in hand. We'll put that into the graveyard. Hopefully the Lotus resolves. Go ahead, put that into the graveyard too. And we'll cast the Thousand Year Storm. Leave that on top. Tutors we want. And now we get to attack each combat. Oh, have to attack each combat. We get to attack for 3. We're not beat down. Remember, we're trying to mill in the end, but if we can get them scared for their life total and they deal with DRCs or our creatures, that's a good position to be in. Okay, so Frost Titan us. They're going to tap down one of our lands, keep us from popping off as much. This doesn't have a reach. I won't be dealing with that, essentially, at all. Which is kind of annoying here. We also have no way of really no way of really getting past this right now. So I think we just pass, attack because we have to. And Mystical Tutor on their turn. Hopefully they go for the island. Could be wrong there. If they go for the island, I then, tap it, Mystical Tutor in response. But he's going to keep a land tapped down at all times, more than likely. It goes for the island. I will Mystical Tutor in response. Mind's Desire is on the top. Put that into the graveyard. Correct, yes. Put that into the graveyard. And then, do we want Yawgmoth's Will? We're not quite there yet because we don't have any rituals in the graveyard, which is quite sad. And so we really kind of just need to set up. He's going to do 6 damage to me, so I guess we can just keep like the Gitaxian Probe, or maybe we want to go ahead and grab one of these pieces. Yeah, I think I will grab the Yawgmoth's Will. Just go ahead and put that in my hand. See where we could go from there. He's coming for me in 3 turns anyway, unless he increases the clock, so we just got to figure out what we do from there. These decks could be difficult in the decisions you have to make. Curious to see what else he has to play. A Signet, okay. If he wants to keep using the library, he can't run out too many things, which I don't think he's too concerned about by by the Frost Titan being on the board and me having to attack every turn. Like, I've got no choice here. In a weird way, we could, like, Yawgmoth's Will, Imperial Seal, get... that doesn't work, unfortunately, actually, now that I think about it. We could Yawgmoth's Will, Ponder twice, which might be kind of funny and set us up for new plays, and I think we kind of have to go for Desperation here. So, let's do that. Yawgmoth's Will. Yep, put that on there. Past in Flames in the graveyard. That's where... No, Ponder's going to let us draw that, and it's cheaper in hand, so I think we leave it there. Although, putting it into the graveyard 5, let's see... We'd have to draw Rituals, but if we draw Rituals, we could begin the fun there. Yeah, let's go ahead. Put it in the graveyard. Get 0 copies. Understood. Does he counter my Yawgmoth's Will? He does. I can pay 1, which does nothing. So I guess I just won't pay the 1. And we will swing him for 3. This is definitely a very good deck against us. Because we can't really turn to the beatdown as easily as some Storm variants might be able to. We just didn't get much in the way of the beatdown. They've got 1 turn on us. We've got multiple turns on them, so... This turn and next turn, that's where it's at. That's what we gotta do. They can tap down a land, and we don't have, unless we draw a land, enough to Past in Flames, so it may have been a mistake to put Past in Flames in the graveyard. Although, through the breach, here he's probably just 1. Kiki-jiki. Hit me for 12. Yep. And because I'm lower on time, I'm going to go ahead and concede here. And let's go on and see if we need a sideboard here. We don't have much in the way of sideboard pieces. I didn't really see artifacts we have to hate on. I think we just now know we do have to go fast. Yeah, I think that's what we do. We submit the deck and we know we have to go fast. Okay, we're back for round 2. I realize I may have made a mistake in sideboarding by not bringing in the artifact hate. If they plop down like a turn 1 relic, if they pressure us with some artifact-based graveyard hate, that may be a grave mistake here. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan though first. because that is just far too slow. This is going to be fast. Lets us do creature beatdown and have all the mana in the world. And I think rather than go too much lower, we're just going to keep this. We can put back the Boros Signet and start here. And we'll go ahead and turn one. I guess Mountain Grim Lavamancer. And we'll pass turn. Hopefully, maybe we could do the beatdown here and just start exiling cards, deal damage, force him to move faster than they were last game. But, oh lord. Oh lord, they have the much faster start here. This may be problematic. Artifact Hate may have been necessary. We're going to go ahead and get my creatures out here. That's just what we're going to do. We're just going to start the beatdown. Is this going to get countered? Do you counter a Runaway Steamkin? I mean, I could see why you would counter this. Do you kill the Grim Lavamancer? Yeah, they do counter this. Okay, understood. Nope, not paying 1 per days. Do you then kill the Grim Lavamancer? No, it just wanted to float the mana for some reason. Okay. Oh, well, I'm glad to see that being a daze. They're so ahead on mana, having to put anything back is good for us. And the Steamkin is something I will gladly exile and just hit with the Grim Lavamancer. As long as Grim Lavamancer lives. Who knows? They were tapping for something, which they chose not to do, which is fine with me. I think what we do, yes, we pay the 2 so that we can do this. I guess if we tap correctly, we can make sure, even if they counter this, that we can Mystical Tutor. But we're not going to Mystical Tutor if we can just Electromancer and continue the creature-based beatdown. It's so funny, I was talking the whole draft about how we are not the creature-based beatdown, and we're going to suck at transitioning to that, and here we are, given no choice. Mystical Tutor lets us go grab something good here. Exactly what we grab, not quite sure yet. Let's see, blue. We're not quite. If we draw a land, we could Time Warp. Sneak Attack probably means the end of us. He's got... doesn't have something to Sneak Attack. Okay, but we have to deal with that. And the fact that I did not bring an artifact and enchantment hate. Oh, I'm being punished for this so badly. Okay. I guess what we go ahead and do is, if we do it now, we get to Grim Lavamancer, which every point of damage now I think counts. So I'm gonna go ahead and Mystical Tutor now. It's maybe a bad decision, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. If we grab Time Warp now, since it costs 4, we can play it. And I think just being given an extra turn right now is worth, and or something they would counter. So I'm going to put that on top. And then I'm going to pay a red, because I won't be using these. Exile. Do the 2 damage, so we could do 4 this turn. And hopefully don't get... Sneak Attack next turn, because if we get Sneak Attack next turn, then you know it's over. Would have liked to have seen that gone off. If he drew something worth Sneak Attacking in, like, it's probably over. Most of them, most creatures that he puts down for Sneak Attack are gonna just end the game for us. But doesn't look like we have that. I imagine there's a counter. If we... Let's think about this. If we go blue... We tap this. Tap a blue. We have to. Okay, we don't have enough blue sources for me to high tide and time warp, so we can ensure there's 2 in there. So instead, we will just... What we will do is actually attack first, just see if we can get him to do anything, or them to do anything. And we will put the pressure down. I'm not going to get 2 in here for the Lavamancer, so... 5, now we go. And we time warp. Okay. We get to take an extra turn. That's what we like to see. We get to look at his hand, which is probably good. If we high tide, it doesn't make a difference. We're doing 3 damage to him. It's all about the mana crypt roll now. So I think I'll just go to combat. Swing. It's all about the mana crypt roll now, and we'll just real quick, so I don't waste too much more time, put down a Valky. So I can see into their hand. See what's up. If they also have a creature card or something like that. If they have a creature card, I think they would just do this. Oh, they do have Kiki Jiki. Word, we could take Kiki Jiki. Yeah, Kiki Jiki was not worth sneak attacking. Please lose. Please lose. Please lose. Oh, won the flip. Conceded, though. Okay. So, we know now we made a huge mistake. A huge mistake. Just thinking we could not bring in Wear Tear. So, we're going to be bringing in Wear Tear. We only have one way to activate the enchantment side, which would matter for... Or, I guess 2 ways. Because the Black Lotus and the Boros Signet. Which would matter for sneak attack, of course. But there's so much artifacts in there, too. Like, I think... It might even be worth doing, like, Aware at the beginning, then trying to cast back from the graveyard Wear Tear at some point. What do we take out? What's the weakest here? I don't think Valky is weak. That served us pretty well taking that. Having the option to go to the creature beatdown is high-key necessary. We might go just down one of our storm cards? No. That's what we're here to do. What's the weakest of our creature beatdowns? It's probably Runaway Steamkin, right? We don't have as many red cards. So I guess that's the one that's going. And we will submit the deck. Now with some artifact and enchantment hate. Woo! Mana leak. Kind of sucks seeing the brain freeze already here. Will there be enough play for us, like a good moment where we get to Mana Leak? I think because it's 3, there will be. And so I'm going to keep. I'm going to start with the Dragon Rage Channeler. We're seeing Mana Crypt already out. No land? No land? Okay. Interesting. We'll start with the DRC. My hope is, like, in the end, I think the Grim Lavamancer does more damage than DRC. I keep losing these flips, please. Oh, thank you. That Mana Crypt put in work for us last game. We would not have won that turn. Mox Ruby? Okay, this is a bad start for us. Bad start for us to see all this extra mana here. And Chandra. Okay. Deals 4 damage to target creature, probably? Yes. Okay. And I don't think we can afford to let down Mana Leak from now on. We need to see if we can Mana Leak something very important, so we pass now. Next turn we'll be able to like Grim Lavamancer and Mana Leak if we don't just spend it this turn cycle countering something. But them getting a Tundra down is just not a good start. Not a good start at all. We will have the ability to snipe it down in a turn or 2. Ho ho! Add red. Please don't have 3. Okay, we get to counter this. So Mana Leak. Now they could Daze, return an island to hand, which would definitely be worth here. But okay, good. We get 2 Mana Leak. Because that would have been end of the game for us. That would have been into the game for us. And we get to wear tear. If we could get, I think that means we Grim Lavamancer and then wear probably the Gruul Signet. Yeah, I think that's what we do. So we Grim Lavamancer. And then we get to wear Gruul Signet. Now, don't get me wrong, the Mana Crypt is great too, but that does damage to them, and I think we're relying upon that right now. Although the Brain Freeze is our real victory here, so do we just want to take... No, in case we need the beatdown. In case we need the beatdown. And then we pass. Having that mana leak was so important there. So important. And I let them keep the Mana Crypt, right, as they keep just winning flips. We'll get to do 2 damage to Chandra. So, like, Chandra is going to be able to +1. Yeah. Required. Yeah. That does hurt a little bit that the wear. We just spin on a Signet and they replace the Signet. We now have no choice, though, but to, like, keep spending this on hitting Chandra. So... I wish this had Vigilance. Really, really wish this had Vigilance. We'll start off with just a Ponder. We don't want any of these cards, so any order, because we're just going to shuffle. Yes. Okay. And then we'll put down Baral. Baral gets countered here. Baral gets countered here. For a daze, I paid the 1 because I can just smack Chandra with the Grim Lavamancer, preventing Chandra from killing. Tap target permanent and opponent controls. We have to spend it now, so I imagine we'll go ahead. See if this resolves. Okay, it does resolve. And then we're going to hit this with Chandra. And we're going to take, I think, the Mana Leak and the DRC. And then we will pass turn. Please do damage. Woo! Okay. Although the beatdown's probably not happening here. But who knows? I think it was Chandra and Frost Titan that made them keep the hand. Trinket Mage. Now, hopefully they don't have a 1 still to search for. See if they fail or not. It would kind of suck if they do reveal... Oh, yeah, Mana Vault. I forgot they had Mana Vault. Think about this, Tim. Well, that's unfortunate there. I mean, it's more ramp. I think they have, like, nothing in hand. So... this does mean I just, like, I have to get rid of these 2 if I want to kill Chandra, and I think I do this turn. I think that's just worth far more. And Brain Freeze is doing nothing in our hands right now. We will just go ahead and tap the Grim Lavamancer, get rid of these 2. I guess we could have... I think High Tide is more worth it, though. And then hopefully nothing happens. And they just, like, die to Mana Crypt. That'd be great. That'd be great. If they could just die to Mana Crypt. I should probably always yield to that trigger so it could just start happening. Okay. And I'm hoping they don't draw much. We've dealt with 2 of their big boys. 2 of their, like, hey, we're gonna win this card, so... And we keep drawing nothing but lands. Which is great. When I have 16, this makes me so mad. Worst comes to worst. We may just get to the point where they are super low and we toss stuff in the graveyard real quick and we Grim Lavamancer them to death. I don't like to see them getting their card draw. This deck definitely lacks the card draw. Like, we kind of needed a hand where we could keep winning. If he makes big plays here, I'm going to be very sad. in a weird way, we could target ourselves with Brain Freeze. If we high tide the Brain Freeze, that's at least 2. And that might be the winning line. Though they're both instants, so we could do it on their turn in response to a lot of things played. If they play something on our end step, you know, that might be what we want to do here. Mill ourselves, depending on how this goes, so we could just get some fuel for the Grim Lavamancer. Because if we could get some fuel for our Grim Lavamancer, do we go for it? Do we go for it? I don't know if we do. It's very confusing to know if we go for it or not. I think we do. I think we go for it. High tide. Then we Brain Freeze ourselves. Mill for 6. Same targets. I'm at least going to mill for 3. This is going to give us Grim Lavamancer. We'll get a mountain and a signet. Okay. And then we're just going to Grim Lavamancer you for just for good old time's sake. We'll take the 1,000 year as well. And we'll pass the turn and just see if your crypt kills you or not. I hope the crypt kills them. This would be a funny way to win with my storm deck if the crypt just ends up killing them. Hey, look at that. Win the match. Sucks to have a crypt. Which no one says ever, but sometimes it does. It does for sure. Okay, well, on to the next one. Okay, everybody, we're on to match 2 here. We're looking at the first round. Draw my first 7. I am playing first, and although I see Black Lotus, High Tide, 1,000 Year Storm, we'd clearly get out very quickly. I think I've learned from the last match that because we lack the cantrips, or at least a decent amount of them, and the ways to draw through the deck, we kind of need something a little more prevalent in the deck. So I'm not sure if this is a keep or not. We're also missing one of our colors of mana. I think this has to be a mulligan. Did not intend to mulligan into missing one of our other colors of mana. Here I think I would put the 1,000 year back, or maybe the Electromancer, because we could always Cabal Ritual into the 1,000 year if we get some red. And we have 2 Electromancer effects, only 1,000 year. I think I'm going to keep and brazenly put back the Electromancer and go from there. We're going to start with Island, and we're not going to Mystical Tutor, so we have a shot at a lane. We're going to yield and just yield and hope they don't go too crazy. Is this like some mono white aggressive? Nope. We get to put down a swamp, hold up Mana Leak. I don't think I'm too worried if they have some white spell they do on our turn, outside of Mana Tithe. Is that in the cube? I don't believe it is. Ooh. We're not going to have a way of dealing with this once it's on the field, so that's 3 to the dome. Are we going to be faster than that? I don't believe we are. I believe we might as well just use this counter now while we have a chance. And prevent, like, going straight to the dome as quickly as possible. Oh, we get Black Lotus. Understood. I don't think I'm going to cast it now because white has ways to destroy artifacts. We're just going to leave it in hand and we're going to ponder. And we're going to put on top. Put on top. Unfortunately, we do have to leave this how it is. No, because I do for sure want red. And we will pass. Now, Elite Spellbinder. This may, funnily enough, be a punish for then leaving the Black Lotus in hand. He can make my Black Lotus cost 2. I'm not sure he would do that. I think he might take the 1,000 Year Storm. Make it, like, essentially unplayable. Mystical Tutor could also become very, very difficult for me to find the right turn. Oh, Black Lotus. I don't think that was the right choice. Sure, it costs 2 now. Just don't think that was the right choice. I don't think I'm also trying to... He could have a powerful creature. Maybe I am trying to draw Valky. In that case, there is, like, no point in not just casting Black Lotus and seeing if he won't cast a creature this turn. They won't cast a creature this turn and try to destroy the Black Lotus. Or they just hit me for 3, cast another powerful creature, and go. Either way, I will be casting Valky next turn. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Technically, Linen, since it's at 2, that is something in the future we could be... Do we... They go for the blue. Do we Mystical Tutor? For what? Mystical Tutor for what? Okay, I have determined we are not going to Mystical Tutor here. I'd rather take the Valky. This is going to put us in a very, very bad position, though. Valky might be like the only thing keeping us from losing like a turn or 2 earlier. Because we will be able to see that hand, see what crazy creatures they got going on here. Valky overall is, I think, a good addition to Storm. Okay, yeah, that could have caused some huge problems for us. Because right now, they're not going to be able to currently Batter Skull. They are going to be able to Sword of Body and Mind, but not equip it that turn. We're definitely going to want to bring in our Artifact Hate. I do think if they... Yeah, I was about to say we might trade there if they give us that chance. The problem is putting that sword down, they got a perfect target for the sword. Yeah. Yeah. Now, milling us might or might not work. 10 cards, yeah, that might or might not work against them. Outside of the fact that, you know, we lack lands currently. There's a land. I think that means we brawl. So we can make things cost less. And they're gonna mill us once. That's just how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be. So, no, it's not an improvement really for our stat line there. Cabal Ritual costing 1. It's the OG ritual now. So that's good to see. And it will have Threshold, so it's even better than the OG ritual now. And that's kind of fine. I think our only hope now is that, like, we draw land, we somehow make it to where we're, like, able to flashback crazy stuff. And we go from there and we mill them out, if that's even possible on this turn. Okay. What we're looking at here. What are we looking at here? Let's see real quick. I see a Seething Song. I see Miscalc, High Tide. No way to play yet from the yard, which is going to be a problem because we kind of need... No way to play from the yard. There it is. Can we do it, though? Black. We could turn this into 5. I think we have to go and just try to do it. And do what, though? Because we don't have too much. We don't have... So this makes 5. Which is enough the 1,000-year storm. And maybe we put down the 1,000-year storm. We take another beating for a turn. Trade Valky if necessary. And then we try to, like, once... Yeah, I think that's what we do. Okay. So we Cabal Ritual. I think we don't have a line to win yet, so we have to do it like this. And we pay for 4. We get the 1,000-year storm out. And then... Red and 2 does mean... But now without the... There's like very few things we could do now to win. We have to draw a land, and it has to be not necessarily a black source. Yeah, we have to draw a land. This was, I think, our only line, though. I believe... This was the only line, so we had to take it. Okay, Yawgmoth's Will is there, Runaway Steamkin, Brain Freeze is there. The question will be, though, do we draw... Okay. So this lets us... Fortunately, that's no red mana, and it's like nothing but black mana. And does that even do anything for us? Yawgmoth Will for... No, the Black Lotus is here. I can play a land, though. So I guess that's the only way forward. Yeah. So we play this down. It has to be like this. We passed in Flames. If he goes for the Brawl... Oh! He goes for the Brawl, and it's impossible for me to do any of these plays. Because if Cabal Ritual now costs 2. So that's game. That's game. There's no 1 black mana spell I have that's useful. Okay, so that's game. Yeah, can see. Go ahead and begin sideboarding here. We want our artifact hate. Oh, that sucked there. I think this is once again like they got a lot of creatures. The runaway just helps speed things up, but it's not going to get through often. I think the Dragon Rage is more important because of putting into the graveyard. Valky looks into their hand, lets me see that stuff there, which is pretty good. Is there anything else worth? I didn't really get too much in the way. A Smoldering Egg, weirdly enough, might be because 0/4. I get to just block some big boys. Like there are plenty of creatures that are 3/1s in that deck. And it might turn into a threat all of its own. I think we very rarely mana leak or miscalc on the right turn there. They very often do it when we're not ready. Oh, we could also just get rid of some consistency by like ditching the High Tide, because that's definitely just like a win more. I think in most cases we don't need it. I guess in that case, if we had 1 blue open, we could, not even that would have done it. So, yeah, I think we ditched the High Tide for a little more extra consistency against them with the Smoldering Egg, just because it's a 0/4 butt. Okay, so we're back for round 2 of match 2. Got beat the crap out of by this mono-white aggro deck, but hey, we see the big butt we purposely put into the sideboard. We see a mana leak we might actually get to play. I'm gonna keep. We got both our rocks, so we'll have plenty of mana. We don't have the black yet for Cabal, but that's fine. That's fine. We will hunt that down. I have seen Wasteland, so we will just put a normal island out, because if I have to lose anything, it's going to be the normal island. I would prefer to keep the volcanic island. Seeing Mox Pearl is not the greatest. Okay, that basically makes my mana leak useless. So because I won't be able to cast that, I'm going to go ahead and put out the Smoldering Egg. And then we'll look at their hand right now. Yield, so we get the first counter on the egg. Let's see what's in their hand here. Plains, they got the Solitude, great. So they can take out this if they wish. Oh, that was 0? Did it count as 0 for the point of putting counters on here? Solitude, they have that. That's great to see. Gideon, Resto Angel. That's amazing. They have nothing they get to make on this turn, though. That's the Arid Mesa put out, so they have 1 card in hand I don't know about. Oh, I meant to block there. What was I doing? Ugh, not paying attention. That's what I'm doing. We're gonna leave up Mana Leak for now. And pass. Next turn, I will be able to play a land and hold up Mana Leak. I'm very sad that I did not block there. That was 2 damage I didn't need to take. Okay, so that was the Gideon. Coming up 5/5 might be a problem here. Do we mana leak it? Okay, so if the Gideon's gone from hand, it's the Solitude, Resto Angel playing some one card I don't know. And the concern here is that they Solitude my Smoldering Egg, which is essentially all I have going on. But I think that was the planes they played. I apologize. They have 2 cards in hand I don't know about. Do we mana leak this? Because they can cast Solitude for free. Yeah, we mana leak this. Go ahead. Get some counters, force them to start thinking about. Whenever you cast, put a number equal to the amount of mana spent to cast. That's why the Phyrexian mana didn't do anything. And we'll just go ahead and we will get me some artifacts. And we'll see if they get to where they could just remove the Smoldering Egg or not. This is definitely like punishing. Tide Taker. Oh yeah, that's enough to just cast the Solitude, get rid of the Smoldering Egg, and keep the Solitude around, which is painful. See what we draw. I was, funnily enough, just thinking, hey look, we can cast a 1000-Year Storm. What's that do for me right now? There's no point in not putting it out. Okay, we're gonna be taking 5, going from here. The Resto Angel with the Solitude out is painful. Any creature I put out is just gone. It's gone. Luckily, we're brain freezing to win, so it doesn't matter. They're gaining all that life, but I see very little success in our future at this rate. There's the Grim Lavamancer, but they just resto the Solitude, take it. You know, I guess we are 6, 8. We're basically dead. If they want to do that and not be able, I guess they could do it right now with Flash. But I'll take the life if they want to do that. They don't really have much of a choice. They do kind of need to, because I could kill the Solitude. There's no way to give it haste, so that was like the line we had to take. We gain the life. 3, 6, 9, 10. That's 10. Okay, I've lost the game. Look at that. We just beat up by an aggro deck. Looks like we won't be trophying today. Okay, so we're back for match 3. We're currently 1-1. Let's see if we can at least come out positive here with a 2-1. And I'm looking at a hand that is a bit strange. Basically every like synergy card, like, hey, this is how we're going to storm off, but it's not the storm, is in hand. And that's probably bad, if I had to guess. But at the same time, just imagine what could happen. I think I had the mulligan that. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is keep Ship the Mind's Desire. I think this is weaker, but go from there. Got lots of land in hand. That's not too bad for me. Less to draw. And we'll yield through this turn. Maybe I should have kept the last hand there. 1000-Year Storm likes to show up anyway. We'll not pay 2 and we'll yield. Let's see what they get. They're going to play anything on turn 2, or is it going to be like a counter? Okay, that makes me think it's a counter, but we're just going to go ahead and ship the Steamkin. We're going to ship them as fast as possible. Get them out there. If they want to counter, if they want to do something to stop the Steamkin, go ahead. Leovold would be terrifying here. Leovold, okay. That's got to go. Don't have any red spells, so we're not going to be pushing through. This makes me think, oh yeah, we're getting wheeled. They've got access to 2, 3 wheels in the color combo, I believe, in the cube. So, good deal, good chance they picked up one of those, at least. Not much I could do with just Runaway Steamkin, though. This may be a deck worth going down to 15 lands. I've never really known when you cut that many lands, though. Okay. Nope, not going to be blocking Leovold there. Oh, to just keep drawing lands here is painful. I guess we could Time Warp, like, very ineffectually. It's just so much pain. If they want to do Tassiger's ability and mill themselves, that's fine with me. I think I would be pretty happy with them not casting anything else, but otherwise we're taking 7 this turn. I'm going to keep the Runaway Steamkin alive, at least for one more turn cycle to figure out if it's relevant or not. I think my first hand would have lost to this too, so there's not much point to... What does Time Warp do here other than just let me put down another land, make another draw? I guess we're going to, let's see, 6, 10, 13. We block this, that's 9. We do have technically another turn. And we can Mystical Tutor for something probably worthwhile. So I think we will just block the 4-5. And pass the turn. And well, of course we'll regret this if they kill our Runaway Steamkin and just kill us. Now we have to remember we can't draw our way to victory here because of Leovold. So there's much pain to be had. So there's probably a loss though if I had to imagine on the deck. We'll see here. Swinging in, we have no choice. We have to block the 4-5. That leaves us on 1. And we'll figure out what we could do from there. Essentially, we have to win, which probably not going to happen. We'll see. Okay. I think I have to Mystical Tutor, but what do I Mystical Tutor for? Well, let's see what this trigger does. Okay. Sack a creature. Let me see if I Mystical Tutor. Let me check the deck list real quick. I guess we have no choice. Let's Mystical Tutor. Well, the better option here, there's nothing in the graveyard, so it's probably like one of our rituals, which is the better ritual. I guess it is Seething Song, because it will make 5. Let's see. We do 1, 2, 3, make... We do 1, 2, 3, make 5. 2 left. Which doesn't do too much. We could also do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Technically have Mind's Desire. We could put the seal into hand. Be able to draw exactly what we want. Okay, so let's see. Put the seal in the hand. Wait, no, can't use a seal. We have to pay 2 life. So we could freeze into hand, take an extra turn, just try to mill ourselves. I think I'll put the will in the hand and just see what happens. I don't think there's much choice other than that. There's not too much we could do anyway. Because we could put the ritual in the hand and then bet on drawing the will, which would allow us to do some funky stuff. I think we'd rather have the will in hand. There's 2 rituals. I guess there's 2 things we could do. We'll put the will on top and go from there. Yeah, we sack a creature. We're not going to keep creatures on the battlefield. Let's see what happens. We play out a swamp. And we'll want to Time Warp. We draw a ritual. What we could do right now is Yawgmoth's Will and not take an extra turn. It's impossible for us to do that. Yawgmoth's Will, Mystical Tutor. Yeah, we'll just go concede from game. and go on to the next round. And I don't think we're looking at too much we could sideboard in here. I think we just got to be fast, because it doesn't look like there were artifacts and enchantments we need to hate on. We just need to go fast. Am I wrong about how many lands we have? Is this deck just so low to the ground we want less lands? I don't believe so. Could be wrong here. Correct. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I am wrong. Won the dice roll, so let's see here. We got a mana leak. I'm going to keep this hand. Literally just because we have a mana leak. And we will yield through the turn. We want to be able to counter one of those things that's going to make me suffer. I'm going to go ahead and put the Runaway Steamkin out on the bet that their turn 2 is not going to be crazy. Okay, good bet. Good bet indeed. We get to also play the Grim Lavamancer, get a counter on to the Runaway Steamkin, and we get to hold up Mana Leak. This is about as good as it can get. And we'll pass. And we'll hope on best hope they don't have anything scary to play. A Nighthawk Scavenger. I think we gotta let stuff ride. And not just counter like the first thing we see. Very awkward if we do that to Imperial Seal. Very awkward indeed. So, I think we pass. I think we just pass here. And we let them do their thing. See what they do with the Nighthawk. Ashiok, this is exactly why we saved it. Ashiok, I don't want to see. I do not want to see Ashiok. Exiling my cards is terrible for me. Terrible, terrible, terrible for me. And if you want to swing in, go ahead. I technically do more damage. Okay, so now I think it's worth it. Because we get to do this. Cast. We get to do, we'll make black. We'll spend 2 of that. And then we'll spend do we just put the thing back out? That seems kind of bad. I don't quite want to use Yawgmoth's Will yet. So I guess we just Imperial Seal with the other one. And we put something on top here. We don't quite have the plays yet. Could just be Time Warp. We get an extra turn. I think it is Time Warp. Just give us that extra turn, put it on top, and then we could do 1, 2, 4 currently. We can pay for it thanks to High Tide. So we'll go ahead and smack him for 3. So he's just not gaining infinite life, and we'll pass. If we do have to do the beatdown. Although I think Nighthawk makes the beatdown win since it's so bad in our deck, like impossible. I do think we'll just High Tide, give ourselves an extra turn if necessary. Especially with Scarab God now on the field, I think we probably will. Because we can just Yawgmoth's Will, depending on the right setup. Yeah, so I think we will High Tide. High Tide doesn't actually do it, dang it. And I can't remove those yet. I messed that up then. Because this isn't 5. Undo. Undo. I guess that's just in the graveyard now. Great, great. Absolutely fantastic. He doesn't just get to... Yeah, it's exile target creature. There are no creatures here. I guess we then just pass turn. That is a punt. That is a punt because we did the numbers wrong here. Cultivate, okay. They don't yet have a great Scarab God target, luckily. I think I will just trade in one of my creatures, though, for Scarab God. Probably the Grim Lavamancer. Just so we can maybe, get an extra turn or so out of this. D-Toots, okay. The fact that I screwed up that high tide play probably means we're definitely going to lose this game and we'll go 1-2, sadly. But we'll see. We'll see if I can crawl it back for this round and then win the next round. Cassiger, understood. I think that's just win more at this point, though. It's not a zombie, so I think that's just win more at this point. I don't think we'll be casting the Seal or the Mana Leak. But there's nothing to hit for 2, so unfortunately. We will just block. Okay, so we get to Time Warp. And we could... I think what we do here is we just Time Warp immediately. Oh, I thought they had a free counter for a second here. Okay, and then we have to... It's 3 counters, right? 3 counters, okay. So we can 1, 2, 3 cast Black Lotus, have enough to Time Warp again. Cast Time Warp. Which may be the play. I think we want to, though, be able to play red. If we can play this, we could get an extra blocker. A non-runaway Steam Kim blocker. And then we could... this is a very, very, very important question here. I guess the time warp play is probably better. Could be wrong here. We get to remove 3. Okay, so... Hold up. I think we do want to Dragon Rage Channeler. And then we want to Yawgmoth's Will. And we want to Surveil here. So let's see. Gitaxian Probe, we'll put that into the graveyard. Just chirp more targets for Yawgmoth's Will. And then we will cast Black Lotus. We will put that into the graveyard. And we can do this for blue, but get a red out of it. Yes, let's do this for triple blue. Get a red-white out of it. We can then cast the Grim Lavamancer. Now we have 3 here. We can remove that and cast the Time Warp. Yes, we can remove that and cast the Time Warp. Remove that. I guess we could pay 2 also, Gitaxian Probe, draw a card. And I think I want to save that, though, since we're clearly not going to. And we will take an extra turn after this. Pay for 3. We will put that into the graveyard. We don't need more mountains. And I think we will end this turn. We're just gonna have to see if we can somehow pop off. Volcanic Island means no. Volcanic Island means no. Understood. Okay. And I guess we pass. There's nothing I can just Grim Lavamancer. Go from here. Let's see what this next turn looks like. Now we'll just draw another land, and Nighthawk doesn't kill us in 2 turns, though, so drawing another land isn't the end of the world. A swamp. Okay. Take us off black. Understandable. We have no choice. We don't want to lose. The runaway steamkin is probably the play to keep in case for some reason we get to loot stuff back. So Grim Lavamancer, DRC, and we see what we draw. Birthing Pod. Do they have some way of making me pay? Acidic Slime, maybe they're gonna get rid of? Or Tassiger. Yeah, Tassiger is high up. They get a 7 mana creature. Oh, gotta sack the Runaway Steamkin anyway. Okay. And let's see what we draw. Mind's Desire, which is unplayable. Okay, and that's game, and that is it for us here on this Vintage Cube. Okay, well, we have seen the downfalls of Forcing Storm. I think the deck was okay. Maybe there was some misplays. We didn't have too much interaction, especially for that aggro deck the second time round, and we just weren't quite able to move through our deck like I think a Storm deck needs to be able to. But thank you all for watching. Once again, this is your cat. Like, comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy this content. You'll have coming on the channel soon as well the Ravnica draft that will be available on Arena, plus maybe another Vintage Cube or two before it disappears. Depends on how I feel. Either way, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and this is your cat signing off.